Now we will come to the later Vedic, which is also known as epic age. What is the reason this is known as epic age? Because during later Vedic period, two great epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata, were written during this time. That's why it is known as the epic age. There were some changes in the social life, economic life, political life, as well as the religious life of the people. During the later Vedic period, there were so many changes which were made in the society. As I told you, in the early Vedic period, women were considered as equal to men. But here, there was a certain downward swing in the position of women. They were considered subordinate to men. And then the birth of a son was more welcome, whereas daughters were considered a source of misery. Women were denied the rights to inherit property and they were not allowed to attend assemblies. Polygamy, it was also practiced in the society. Then the caste system, which was not at all rigid in the early Vedic, became very rigid during the later Vedic stage. The Brahmins and the Kshatriyas enjoyed many privileges. Brahmins were considered superior, Kshatriyas were equally important, and they came to be regarded as the ruling class. The Vaishyas were engaged in business, trade and agriculture. The Shudras were looked down upon. They were not treated well in the society. Then they followed the Gurukul system of education. What is this? See, education was imparted free of cost. The first stage of the life was meant for attaining knowledge. I'll explain you the stages, the 4 ashrams. So the first stage was regarded as attaining of knowledge, logic, ethics, astrology, any type of education. Education was imparted orally in the Gurukul residence, which was in the secluded area, in a forest or far away from the villages. They had to get up early in the morning. The students had to get up early in the morning after taking bath, chanted the Vedic mantras. Then the education was given to them. At the end, when they finished their education, they used to give Guru Dakshina to their Guru. Let us come to this. The 4 ashrams. They were lifespan. The human lifespan at that time was considered as 100 years. So it was divided into 25 years each. The first ashram was the Brahmacharya ashram. It was meant for a pupil to attain knowledge in the Gurukuls. Second was the Grehastha ashram, which was in this ashram, the man married, led family life and took full responsibility of their family. Third was the Vanprastha. During this period, the man had to give up the family life, spend his time till the age of 75 years in meditation and prayer. Sannyas means complete renouncing of the worldly pleasures. That means giving up all the luxuries of life. So these were the changes which were brought in the social life of the people in the later Vedic age. Economic life. They followed the barter system, exchange system. Very important barter system. What is barter system? It was prevalent in that time. Somewhere the reference of Nishka is a piece of ornament which is used as a value, was used at that time. So this was barter system, exchange. Then they produced many crops such as wheat, millet and sugarcane. Crafts such as leather making and jewelry making, chariot making, they developed during this time. Also, there were trade and commerce. Now let us come to the political life of the people of later Vedic. There were emergence of large kingdoms. Many large kingdoms, they emerged during the later Vedic period. And then the royal princes, the royal power increased with the establishment of large kingdoms. Kings, they became more powerful. They used to give themselves title. Why? Because they started considering themselves as very, very important. So they gave themselves titles like Ikrat. Ikrat means the only one ruler. Samrat, kings of kings. Sarvabhumi, ruler of the earth. Chakravarti, protector of land. So they were very, very important. Then there were other officers also beside the king in the later Vedic period. Then now let us discuss the religious life of the people of the later Vedic. They worshipped many new gods such as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv, Ram and Krishna during the later Vedic. Rituals became more complicated. They were not complicated during the early Vedic period, but they became very, very complicated. Philosophy of Upanishads, principle of karma, moksha developed. Karma means the birth of the man, next birth of the man would be considered, he'll take birth as the karma of his previous birth. Moksha means getting rid of the cycle of life and death. So these principles, these developed during that time. These were the changes which were brought in the religious life of the people of the later Vedic period. So this comparative study of the early Vedic and later Vedic is very, very important. So that was all about the Vedic age. I hope you liked this. Thank you, children.